A plan to speed up the process of compensating victims of rioting has been announced. The government wants to make it faster and easier to make a claim. But 3 years after the London riots, some businesses that saw their premises destroyed are still fighting to get their livelihoods back, as our political correspondent Carl Mercer now reports.
Behind the gates, there used to be shops. Behind the hoardings, businesses used to thrive. But here on the main road into Croydon, there's a daily reminder for locals of what happened in 2011. Just ask Deborah, who we bumped into while filming.
If you look through here, you can see more and more waste growing each day. The businesses around here are collapsing. There's absolutely nothing for anybody to do. They're building more and more flats, but they're not taking care of the damage that's already been done in the riot.
This is what's behind the hoardings, the remains of a business that Bushra Ahmed and her family owned for 30 years here.
Oh, you know, it's sad to see 30 years of work go down the drain like that for no reason. Could have been avoided.
Scaffold now stands where her laundrette once did, and her battle for compensation was only finally settled a month ago.
There was no single point of contact, so the insurance was separate. We had an assessor, he was dealing with some people, but then there's a whole other layer of government that was dealing with this, so there was 2 or 3 different departments, and it has been a nightmare because you didn't know where to go.
Just down the road is Param. His jewellery shop was looted during the riots, and although he's had some compensation, his claim still isn't finally settled, despite promises from plenty of people in power at the time of the riots.
Starting with, from the top man himself, David Cameron. So he came, 2 days after the event. I met him at the fire station because, my shop is, one of the worstly affected shop. So they invited me, he sat, next to me, and he said, don't worry, within months, you will get your compensation.
It's cases like these that have prompted a move by the government to look again at the 125-year-old Riot Damages Act, a consultation to start soon to try and make it easier for victims to claim.
We are proposing a new bureau that will be set up in the wake of widespread rioting, so that there would be a system which would mean that things hopefully would happen faster in future.
The government consultation on changing the Act will run until August the 1st, almost 3 years to the day since the riots hit London. Carl Mercer, BBC London News.
Still to come.